Okay, here we go, guys. 120 spec. Perfect spec. There's no way this bracelet just rolls vitality, strength, and other bad stats. It will definitely not roll support lines. It won't roll chaos dungeon lines. It won't roll get up things. Here we go. Boom. Okay, why are you so shit? Fuck! This is so bad. Fuck this fucking game. I'm out. Stream's over. I'm done. Nope. Nope, not today. Alright guys, we're not gonna speed run this. We're gonna talk through some of these. We're gonna do pros and cons, and we're not just gonna say L-Fire the entire time. Deal? We're gonna be educated adults. Let's start at the top. Now this was mentioned at the end of the live stream last night for those that missed it. June 25th, which is next week, we got Valkyrie, female paladin, coming in. So this is for KR. We got Agir's solo, new system, bunch of quality of life coming in. We'll go through all that in a minute here. The new Mokoko Challenge Express now. It's still absolutely insane to me that the next Mokoko Challenge Express takes you to 1660, guys. With the next raid hard mode being 1730. And all the vertical systems and other shit you have to do to reach that point is like millions and millions and millions of gold. So it's like, it's just crazy to me that they're still like doing what they're doing. I feel like they don't want new or returning players. Prelude of the battlefield map. I don't know what that means. I'm guessing that's the server-wide progress and getting unlocks for based on how many people do the content, I'm guessing. Matchmaking improvements. That was really cool. Support improvement. Valkyrie skin launching in July. They're getting the new Thaemine Extreme. 6 weeks of that. Combat analysis system, event island, and the swimsuit skins. August, we got 6th episode Destiny Pass. Battlefield map with, I think that's a little bit more of the battlefield map up here. Act 4 raid. Epilogue of the first mode. Guardian. Arc grid system, battlefield epilogue skin, body type improvement, paradise, Knuckman's vision stone, stronghold, new concept update, squad skin. Before we begin, I'm very mixed on this LOA ON. Before everyone asks, what'd you think of LOA ON? I'm just super mixed and I'm still processing it. Like watching it live last night in the middle of the night, like it's hard for me to like really fully process everything going in. People want more communication, right? So this guy's been communicating more monthly. And so if you guys didn't see it, I did this. I did LOA ON predictions, and these are the known entities because they already communicated all of this. So going into it, knowing basically the entirety of LOA ON made it a little lackluster, you know? We wanted the surprises, we wanted the hype, and there was some cool stuff, but this really deterred from the ability to say LOA ON was fire because like we already knew what we were gonna get. Keeping that in mind as we go through all this is, you know, people want more communication, they want more stuff, they want things happening and announcements about things happening, but then it makes it less hype when it happens. So would you rather have radio silence and then a big news with LOA ON and hype? Or would you rather have constant communication and changes, you know what I mean? Or make bigger changes and announce bigger things and have more hype things in LOA ON. But I'm just saying, like, in general, it did feel like lackluster because of that, and it's hard not to feel like a little bit jaded on that. So keep that in mind as we dig into this. All right, introduction of bound gold, 50% rate gold nerf. So if you guys, what I noticed here is you have solo, normal, and hard mode, right? Solo, normal mode, hard mode, but look down here. What do I see? I see Narok. So does that mean we're getting solo Brel soon? Like it was the only point it was referenced right here. So I assume we're getting more solo modes, but why not bring that up? That's like that's a big win for everyone. Getting Brel solo would have been massive, right? Bound gold for character set to 50%. So I'm guessing 50% of the gold you were earning is now going to be character bound, right? This type of stuff doesn't necessarily mean we are getting or not getting it, right? Because of the way we handle our gold nerfs, binds, things like that, it's a little bit different than KR. So we'll see. So they have this new gold gacha shop, limited to a set number of times per roster. Here's the boxes and here's the rewards in them. Looks like you can buy 20 a week. Gacha using your gold for mats. Looks like it has quality stones, select cars and stuff. The guaranteed taps are pretty interesting. Yaw's jar is kind of interesting too. And it's just another thing you can do to earn. Now the trust system is something to try to combat peer-to-peer gold selling and trading and things like that. So you gain trust by consuming gold. Trust deduction when circulating gold. Apparently like CN already has this, so that's two different things to combat either rice farming or like RMT. They're also going to be adding in market restriction. So if someone lists an accessory for like, it won't let people list accessories. There's going to be a range with it, right? So you can't have someone listing an accessory for 5 million gold. If trust is insufficient, a gold fee is applied. To address potential substitution with item-based trading, system change include implementation of auction house price caps, restriction of auction house listings. So this is going to combat or go up against directly against like people who are RMTing through the auction house. So I like, what do we think, guys? So far they showed solo raids that aren't in the game. I hope they announce those. That would just be an easy win. Gotcha boxes are kind of cool, but like it's just another gold sink. Do you actually need another gold sink? Maybe, maybe not. Card packages purchasable with gold, I think is a pretty easy, like these are like small W's. The trust system, I do like the fact they're finally going after RMTers, honestly. Adjustment T3 gem acquisition, we kind of went through this. They're also lowering the cube boxes from the guild and stuff like that. Removal of the triangle gem exchanges, removal of chaos dungeon and field party place. So apparently people are taking one character and carrying their other 3 characters and then taking all the gems. That's crazy, guys. I didn't know people were actually grouping for chaos dungeon still. W group chaos dungeon. Changes to the opponent badge rewards, removing tradable gold and replacing with packaged character bound gold. So that's Una stuff, I guess. Progression meta, new farming, random drops playable only by characters that have participated in in-game content. So basically what it is, it's a new vertical progression system. You can farm gems from guardians, cores from the raid. I'm very, very, very scared because of what he said at the bottom here. This is the quote that has me the most scared about LOA ON, guys. So we have this new infinite grind, no pity vertical system. No, it's not Karma 2. It is not Karma 2. Karma has a limit and a ceiling, and pity. This has no ceiling, no pity. Well, I mean, I guess it technically has a ceiling, but there's no pity. And he said, and I quote, very difficult to farm, near impossible to achieve max level. So that quote alone has me very worried about the system. Obviously, we'll see. I'm sure they're gonna get a bunch of reactions and feedback. No, this one's gold, like just dumping gold into it. So basically you farm a core, you get gems, you attach these gems. Just an example of gems that they showed. They have one that decreases the GT duration, increases speed / damage, right? Or increases the auto attack of GT, land skill damage increase, things like that. So class changes, skill changes. The GT one sounds kind of cool. It's a new stone system, but it's multiple stones at once. I don't want to go too deep into this because we don't have all the details, right? But yeah, you get the cores and you can put gems in it. All right, so that's that new farming system. See, personal DPS meter. I'm very excited for that. I think that's a pretty big W, honestly. I didn't like that they didn't show anything about the support stuff. They just, I think Soren mentioned it, right? So here it is right here, guys. You have like your DPS, your 1 minute DPS, your crit rate, your overview and your breakdown of all your skills, their damage percent, and things like that. They did mention supports in it, but it wasn't shown in like a picture. So we'll see, huh? Respect for pioneer, high-end players. First difficulty introduced with every release of an in-game content. That's cool. And then they have speedrun coming out. Now this one I know is going to be a hotter topic in general, right? People know that people min-max their character through RMT, right? And no matter what, people are not going to like it because they either swipe, whaled, whatever it may be, they RMT'd, and their characters advance at it as it is because they paid for it, right? And people don't like that because they want to see it as a showcase of skill, but that's not what this is at the end of the day, right? Taking that like argument out of the picture though, having the first mode is awesome. I think it's really cool. I think it was so like Thaemine Gate 4 in first mode was some of the most fun I've had in the game. So them adding it to the next raid, I'm not going to completely shit on it. Because like I enjoy that content. I had a great time with that content. I'm not going to sit here and like get pissed off that they're adding in a new first mode because someone that's going to win it at RMT. You know what I mean? Like I don't care. Raid difficulty segmentation. So they're talking about more solo modes. They're talking about reducing the difficulty of existing solo modes. Normal mode adjustments. They're going to be making it even more dumbed down. Hard mode will kind of remain the same, I guess. But they did also note, and they have some slides on this. I have that in that Google Doc if you have access to it. They showed the retry rate, I think it was called. So with the implementation of revives, it's showing like 63% of people, like, or the raid groups that are existing don't need to restart, which is actually a pretty crazy statistic. Res system, 5% increase in players, clear rate up 7%, clear time down 10%, and 63% less restarts. Like that's kind of crazy. Revives are good in a sense, but like, I don't know, let's talk about difficulty in general right now, right? So right now, we waited extra time to get Belshazzar in the West, right? And a lot of people stopped playing the game because they were bored. And the Frontier system made the raid too easy. There wasn't other extreme content, catastrophe mode, hell mode, whatever it may be. People just got bored. They've started playing other games and not a lot of people come back. And then you have, here we are right now. We just got Mortem, what, 3 weeks ago? If we look at this right here, we have this team update, Summer LOA On and roadmap news, right? And for those that didn't see it, they announced that we're getting the strike rate in, I think, September, right? Yeah, September. That's 3 months out, guys. And then we're getting Belshazzar for Christmas again. And so the strike raid isn't like a real raid, guys. There's no difficulty to it. It's like a loot pinata. Yeah, so Belshazzar is most likely coming out for Christmas time again. We're getting a strike raid in September, which has no real difficulty to it. It is a punching bag. So this is going to be like, that's one of my biggest complaints right now out of everything. Or Kazros, I'm sorry, guys. My bad. But John, we will have Paradise. Paradise is going to be like an infinite chaos dungeon grind, separate from raiding, that you can do and have fun doing, sure. But people like raiding in this game. And that's not a raid. That is solo play. That is something you can do that's separate from raiding, right? Which I really, really like. And I'm so happy we're getting Paradise. Don't misunderstand me. But the fact we have to wait until September for the strike raid, which is like a loot pinata, and then December for our next actual raid. You might think this is a hot take, but I think Mortem Gate 3, this last 2 weeks was the most fun I've had in Lost Ark in a while. Like, I had the most fun progging that and defeating it. It was a good time. The people that didn't have fun with it, full pugged or didn't clear it, right? Now here we are, the second or the third week, first nerf. And it's still fun, but if people are like super overpowered, juiced with gems and books, they're just smashing that raid. I saw a parse today with a certain group of people of everyone doing over 330 million DPS. And then the minimum clear is 160 million. So we're talking double the damage of most people. Like, that's crazy. So I do think there's an issue right now with not having hard content for the people. People are just bored. People get bored easy. And when people get bored of Lost Ark, it's like being in that abusive relationship mode where once you're like not playing Lost Ark, you're kind of on the outside going, huh, and then you just never come back. I'm surprised they didn't announce next class. They did at the end of the Q&A session. It's like a Dragon Knight thing. Someone spoiled it for me like a couple different ways today. Here you go. I don't even know how it came across, but that was the image they showed. And I think I see a boob, right? Is that a boob, guys? Yeah, I think that's a boob. Any boob experts in chat? Enhance? Yeah, no problem. Okay, you know what it kind of looks like? Is like Illidan or something with like its horns coming off. Female, girl, woman. Let's go back through this. Improvements to Party Finder, unnecessary repetition, and raid phase. Raid recruitment improvements. Allowing parties with fewer members and include mercenaries for complete party. Okay, I didn't get that from LOA On, but you know what? Hype. Like, that's a huge W, guys. Like, really, really cool. We'll see how that plays out. Like, what difficulties, what raids it goes up to. Like, that's big. That is a really big win. I like that a lot. Removing time-wasting patterns and cinematics at the beginning of start battles. They also mentioned so they mentioned the walk up and the trash and removing a bunch of those. So that means like less time when you enter a raid to actually going into the raid. Let's see, update method. So they're talking about improving the update method here. They're trying to make it so we get more frequent updates instead of one big update every few months. And I think that's going to help a lot with the players' general sentiment. When it's like, all right, we got this balance patch, we're ready to push it in, we're going to get it out in a couple weeks. It's in the test environment, it will be out in 2 weeks. That's my hope, that's my dream. They're talking about making like the PC Cafe benefits and events and off-season adjustments and just events in general less repetitive, which I find interesting. And then they're talking about like adding in new collabs, and then they get like a Domino's pizza one. So that was kind of cool. I like Domino's, man. Their thin crust pizza is like chef's kiss, bro. Updates without seasonal divisions. This is like a bunch of word fluff in my opinion, but whatever. Okay, so for the Aldebaran Sea, this is actually a really cool thing. So for those that missed it, they're talking about what comes next after Kazaros. And this is like what they showed. It's the expansion of the world map, which is pretty cool. Yeah, basically doubling the map. Let's see, summer season update roadmap. So we have the new Valkyrie coming in. It looked pretty cool. 3 skill concepts as Justice, Radiance, and Protection. It has a hybrid role, which makes me think it might have some Gunlancer stuff. That'd be kind of neat. I think one of the Awakenings kind of looked like Push Immunity, if I'm not mistaken. If you look at the teeny tiny little plus sign next to their names, it looks pretty cool, right? And this is also the new Party Finder window. So while you're hanging out in the lobby, like recruiting people, you're all like chilling and they're going to have different backgrounds you can get. And there's also going to be banner buffs that apply to your party, mostly defensive and things like that. And the highest one will take precedence, which is pretty cool. Like the fact I can see, okay, they're support players. And then you see the Paladin right here without the plus, so they're not a support one. There's a little closer up image of it. And there it is up close again if you want to see the pluses. And then they have new class banners and icons. Here's an example of them. So that's going to be showing up if you look in this image up here. I don't know if it had it there. It did not. Was it one of the other ones? Right here, look. So you can have like this background. So if you looked at the first mode pictures toward the end, this banner right here is what that's going to be for. And then you have like the class icon looking a little bit different here. And then you can see it here as well. There's like the banner and you can see the icon on the character. More gatekeeping. Guys, like they're adding in cool things and everyone just like finds the bad. So this is also the new like honoring or voting, like upvoting people or down, like I'm assuming you can't downvote. And then they have a teacher hat on. So there's a new mentor thing that was mentioned. This is the battle score stuff, guys. So this is the battle score as a DPS. This is the battle score as a support, red versus green. You're also going to be able to drill down and look at individual stats and things like that if you missed this. So female paladin coming out, Thaemine Extreme is roster weekly content. It also doesn't count towards your weekly lockout, apparently. A gear single mode. It's interesting they didn't mention Behemoth or Belshazzar, even though it showed it up at the top in the chart. Single mode drops or solo mode shop will have Behemoth scales and Hellfire keystones. Karma is going to be added as well, and Shadow of Karma from Mortem, it looks like. Okay, gem tuning system. We already know about this, but they did just kind of reiterate. Free gem effect changes as well as damage versus cooldown, 15-day lock. Tripod removal, win. Epic engraving books, win. New farming content. Now this is that new art grid thing. We mentioned it up at the top in the farming event. So then they talk about the cores. Relic tier cores can be used. There's ancient tier cores. The ancient ones have an allegedly it's a near impossible to max out. Skill group adjustment, tripod adjustments, maintaining combat style and gameplay experience. Some of them looked kind of cool. Willpower costs the limit maximum number of gems that can be equipped. Okay, so this, if you looked at the core image, I don't know if they have it here. We got Guardian 1720 plus. We got the new Chaos Dungeon. Paradise is coming in. Let's see, July. So we go through the Paradise system, which is like Chaos Dungeon, Heaven, which is the tower, right? And then Hell was like the delve. Rewards are determined by the highest Heaven proof level achieved. Players ascend through random layers in Hell to get rewards. Okay, someone correct me if I'm wrong. And it's been a minute since I looked at the Paradise system. But didn't the Paradise system also give you something that powers you up vertically outside of the Paradise? Because I know you get the stuff for in there and mostly in there, but I thought it also gave you something else. No? Yeah, I thought it was self-contained for most everything. You get gold and honing mats. Okay, so you do get stuff. This is a new collectible event. The skin codex, which we saw. Party lounge, which we saw. Honor elements, which is like the upvoting your friends, which we saw. Convenience features. Okay, this right here was such a big W, guys. The rewards go directly to the inventory without harvesting souls in Guardian raids. That's a W, man. Like, I can't tell you how many times I forgot to loot a soul, bro. It's so nice. Yeah, mounts can be used more. The Una task changes are nice. Basically, dailies are only for the rep, and then it moves to a weekly format on that one. Pet effect codex. So once you unlock them, you're good. You no longer have to like fish in random. Moving the customization in game to a portal instead of like doing it in character slot it's like cool, but like if it still costs me the ticket, I don't know, man. Like raid cutscene skip, so the raid leader can actually skip things. Pretty cool. Being able to search your inventory is pretty great for those that have the elongated neck on mages and the female martial artists with like their bow legs and hip dysplasia is now fixed. Fate's Path. So this is the new story. It's going to be like the prelude, if I remember right, leading up to Kazaros. This is the first part of Act 4. This is going to be Gate 1 and 2. That's going to be Echidna, and which, you know what's interesting about this is normal and hard will only be available after one group can at least until the first group clears the first mode. That's crazy, guys. That means like that everyone's going to be watching people compete for the first mode. That's kind of fun. They mentioned a new system known as telekinesis that's going to be in Kazaros. So I'm wondering what that means. So party lounge background. MVP. So the guys, the new one of those party lounge, like look at this. So remember the party finder window, I think, or maybe a background right there. They did mention that looks like just a regular background to me, but someone mentioned it was the party lounge. But there's a new MVP screen right here. If you didn't see it, there's the new mount, the new wings. They said this is for the first rewards, and then the ones that are specific for the top 10, it's the animated title, stronghold trophy, ID, banner for character. Then that's what the actual, I think, first place teams get is this stuff. They're making an in-game statue that's going to the major cities is what Benji translated. This is the speedrun leaderboard by class. So after the first mode, they're opening up speedrun mode, which is kind of interesting. And this right here, for those that missed it, this is a picture of the Warfront, and they're having a new like tracking thing right here. This is based off of the game or the population's progress. So you progress this as a server, and then it like gives you the server rewards. See, character bound gold rewards, 200k gold. This is for the Makoko Express for those that missed it. 100k gold to reach 1660. 20k gold per completion chest up to 1700. So that's interesting. The pass will, sounds like it'll get you to 1660 for free, and then up to 1700 to get boxes. That seems interesting. Newbie progression improvements. Expansion of Makoko buff up to 1660. Enhancement for ease of growth guide updates. They're also talking about reworking like the skipping the story. They're having in-game tutorials and a new NPC. So this kind of stuff for the person I was asking earlier, I think her name was Ash, or their name was Ash. This is like some of the good stuff that we're going to be getting to help new players and returning players out. And they're also nerfing a bunch of the solo modes down a lot more. Here's some of the skins for those that missed it. You have this zipper bikini, just what everyone needs in their fashion wardrobe. There's the horn outfit from the other one, and then is that the battle pass skin? I don't think I saw that last night. Level 8 gems. This is them giving out the gems probably on Wednesday. T3 content moving to bound gold. Solo mode content, Una's test gold going bound. This doesn't directly apply to us here because we're different in the West. Will you lift the 6 character limit? So, okay, so here we go into the Q&A stuff. They are not planning to lift limit for now. Approximately 30% play all 6 characters. 50% plays 3 or less. 7th character with bound gold can cause some sort of abuse as well. Progression fatigue going to lower with continuous implementation of solo mode. Win. W there. Normal will require less gearing. Will become easier to cater to casual players. Cool. That's a win for the game, man. You need a casual player base to keep it going, honestly. Support improvements. DPS ability of support will be increased. Okay, here's the support improvements. I don't know why they effing waited till like the Q&A to bring this up, but that's crazy. DPS ability of support will be increased. So basically, DPS bards, you're back, baby. Artist DPS, you're back. Paladins, you're getting buffed. Yes. All right. Everyone stop being supports. Skill level will be meaningful for support. As mentioned, efficiency will get lower after a certain point. So they're going to make it easier to support or what? Interesting. Support dependency is too high. I agree. It's too damn high. They have their own difficulty watching all party members. They have to pressure to survive. 1 DPS death isn't as impactful as support death. True. They also do different roles sometimes. Not getting frozen during Act 2. Okay, like this is just a silly line. Support difficulty will be lowered. Single brand will be available for all supports. That's a W right there. Bards, you're saved. Single brand will be available for all supports. Everyone gets Sword of Justice. 4th row enlightenment point will become somewhat usable. Mana or new fun mech. So they're going to make like the enlightenment tree actually fun at the bottom. All right, let's see. Engraving improvement. Awakening relic book has no effect on certain point will be fixed. So they're making awakening relic books better, I guess. Drops of ether. A lot of the time you eat your own orb. What? Wait, what? So they're changing the book to, or the what if they're going to make it so like you can't absorb some of them as a support or something? It won't be perfect, but we tried to fix things that you didn't like. I wonder who they used as their sample for that. Balance patch. So they're getting the balance patch next week. There'll be another balance patch update before the epilogue. Do you think we'll get this current balance patch before or after Kazros, guys? Well, maybe February we'll get this current balance patch. Okay, so this right here is showcasing the new NPC he was talking about. You can select like your spec and it helps you out. This is saying they're getting rid of this whole new skip the start of the story stuff. So like reworking the new player onboarding process. We'll see how it turns out. Very excited about that change. So here's where I'm a little bit sad, guys. This is all the stuff KR is getting for free. They showed this. I'm like, that's kind of a lame reward. And then they showed this and I'm like, okay, it's getting better. And then they showed those Cocoa Power Rangers, the biggest W of all of LOA on. No, this is only for people in KR, sir. And then they also said that you can hang on to your legendary skin until female paladin, and it will be updated for that, which is a pretty big win. Okay, summer update gift. First off, we know the community is always excited about LOA on gift sent to players. LOA on gift will be granted to all players in Western version of Lost Ark in July, but we won't get the legendary skin. I guess we'll see. So in July, we're getting the new solo mode and Makoko boot camp. Guys, wait, look at right here. Brelshaza Act 2 normal mode. Wait, that's Makoko boot camp. Oh, so it goes up to normal Brel. I see. So a lot of people are asking if this is a W or an L. Let's start there. I think overall, there's a lot of positive changes. I don't like saying if it's a W or an L. I think there's a lot of good in this. I think there's some stuff that's not good, but I think there's still like enough good changes coming. I just think they need to be so much more aggressive with it. I like, there's a lot of good changes here. There's a lot of quality of life stuff that impacts new, returning, and existing players. My biggest issue is I still feel like they're not doing enough for new and returning players.